Good morning, everybody, and happy Easter to everybody that's joining us on the Celtic Way YouTube channel. We're also streaming live on Facebook and X as well. My name is Ryan McGinley. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Tony Haggerty. Usually say A Haggerty 10, but it feels a wee bit weirder when you're right next to me. We're at the Tony Macaroni Arena at Celtic v Livingston. Kick off at 12 o'clock today. Tony, how are you doing this morning?
First and foremost, happy Easter to everybody. Hope it's a good day. We're fine. We even met the manager on the way in, didn't we, Ryan? We got a small chat, banter with the manager, which was good to see. As he was taking his place in the stand, funnily enough, that felt a bit weird as he was walking up the stairs. But there you go. So yeah, looking forward to today. And I know you've got the grin on your face like a Cheshire cat because a certain Rio Hatate is returning to the Celtic starting lineup. So yeah, could be hopefully a good day, Ryan.
Yeah, just anybody in the comments, could they please let us know how the audio is? We're trying something a bit different with the wireless microphones, maybe a wee bit of teething issues here and there, but from what it was looking like from our end, it looked as if it was working. Before we start today, we'd like to thank, as always, MPH Group. In fact, let me just bring up the MPH Group sponsor. There we go. Okay, so we're thrilled to have Weissman, a global leader in the boiler industry, known for their top-notch gym and engineering, sponsor our podcast. And what's more exciting, they've teamed up with Scotland's very own award-winning installation team, MPH Boilers, making this a perfect match right here in Scotland. Weissman's boilers are engineered to deliver not just warmth, but unparalleled efficiency and reliability. We're talking about cutting-edge technology that's designed to save you on energy bills and reduce emissions. With MPH Boilers, you know you're getting service from the best in the business, a local team that's committed to excellence and customer satisfaction. As part of this incredible partnership, when you choose a Weissman boiler installed by MPH Boilers, you'll also get a free internet controller, making it a breeze to manage your heating anytime, anywhere. Plus, they're offering the first year's service free. It's all about giving you peace of mind and making sure you're looked after. So, if your boiler is showing its age or you're considering an upgrade, this is your chance to get world-class engineering with local expert service. Weissman and MPH Boilers, it's a match made in Scotland. Make sure to check them out and take the first step towards a warmer, more efficient home. And let me just bring up our latest offer that's on the Celtic Way. It's our best ever offer, Tony. £1 for 6 months of access. You'll get instant analysis from today. You'll also get detailed player ratings, instant analysis from Tony, player ratings from myself. You'll get the post-match comments. You also get the post-match comments on YouTube as soon as possible, so please subscribe to that for free, as well as I think we'll do a TCW Star Man that'll be going on Monday morning as well.
At the moment you're getting a bit of Coldplay as well, so
yeah, I mean we cover all bases. We get the music sorted as well. We apologise if it's a bit loud in the background, but plus, you'll also get a free Kyogo Furuhashi print made by Frankie. So if you're interested, please visit www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. And we thank you everybody that's joined us so far. But we can't continue to do it without you. So thank you very much. Let's get into the team, Tony, shall we? Where do we start?
I'll start by saying I think that was a team we both predicted. Both got 11 out of 11. Lots of people saying, risk Cameron Carter-Vickers, risk Hatate. We tried to get into the manager's head. We clearly did. And it's the 11 that we both predicted, Ryan. So all good. Happy with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So in goals today, it's Joe. We'll get some funny comments coming in with the audio. People are saying the audio sounds good, so that's very, very good. So in goals today, it's Joe Hart. You get the back four of Greg Taylor, Liam Scales, Cameron Carter-Vickers and Alistair Johnson. Iwata plays in the number 6 in midfield, joined by the returning Rio Hatate, and Matt O'Reilly's playing as the furthest forward midfielder. On the left wing, it's Maeda. On the right wing, it is Nicholas Kuhn and Kyogo Furuhashi is up front. Have you got the subs there, Tony? Just to read out. Yep. So the subs are today:
Scott Bain, Adamida, Yang, Mike Narowski, Paulo Bernardo, Kelly, James Forrest, Tony Ralston and Stephen Welsh.
So how are you feeling about that team, Tony? Are you feeling confident looking at it? Maybe a wee bit more confident now seeing that Rio Hatate's back, one of Celtic's best players, admittedly.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm trying to calm you down. I've strapped you to this chair because you're up and down at the fact that Hatate's back and that starting lineup. But as I say, we spoke about it on Friday. It's what we predicted in our predicted 11s, and I'm just delighted that he's back. And it's a major boost for next week, isn't it? But first and foremost, concentrating today. Got to be clinical, got to be professional, go and do the job, Celtic. And let's see what transpires today.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that the Celtic team have got to deal with the plastic pitch. Might be one of the last times that they play on a plastic pitch this season. That provides a different problem in itself. But who are you looking towards this afternoon, Tony, on this Easter Sunday to make the difference for Celtic in this game? Are you just looking for a collective, or are there any individual players that you're looking at to think like they're going to be the difference maker on the day today?
From Hatate onwards, I'm looking to all those guys to be the key to streak winning today. Hatate, O'Reilly, Maeda, Kyogo, they're massive players for Celtic today, offensively. So, yeah, I think Inawata sitting there, I'm just excited to see what Kuhn can bring again. Hopefully he can continue from where he left off. Obviously, Maeda got a hat-trick the last time out against Livingston at home. So, yeah, and Kyogo's hit for him at the perfect time. And, there's a couple of people commenting saying, we originally had McGregor in our team, but when Brendan Rodgers said he wasn't available on Friday, we changed it. So we reacted to that. But we originally had McGregor, but we weren't aware until Brendan spoke on Friday about Callum McGregor's unavailability. So that's why we changed it. And as I say, we put the article out yesterday, and everybody will have known, if they've read it, will have known that was the team that we picked after discovering that news about McGregor.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring up some comments. Danny Boy saying it is a beautiful day. Come on, Celtic, make it even better. Absolutely, the sun is shining. It's basically a clear sky today, so it's absolutely brilliant. It feels like springtime is definitely here. Hopefully, that means the return of some really good football as well. Connor, just as simple as that, says Rio. I'm guessing he means Rio Hatate. I think there's a lot of people buzzing, including myself, that Rio Hatate is back in this team. You know, he's the guy. I think he's the difference maker. Do you want to maybe touch upon Rio for a wee bit? Obviously, Hatate, the last time he played, I think, was Atletico Madrid at home before. In fact, he came on against. It's his first start, I think, since Atletico Madrid at home. But he did play against St Mirren before he came off and went to the Asia Cup. He then picked up that injury when he was at the Asia Cup, and this is him just back now. What are you looking from him today? I know it's his first game back in a few months, but what are you expecting today from Rio?
I'm just hoping that he can pick up from where he left off and discover some form. Scored a penalty the last time we was here, remember? Not the most convincing of penalties, but he still scored it. But we know what he brings. He brings quality. He brings a tempo. He brings an eye for a killer pass. He can score himself. And I know it's his first game back. I'm not expecting him to be the man of the match. I'd love it if he was, because then it would announce that he's back. But just, and everybody's saying it's a risk. Yeah, it is a risk to play him on the surface. I get that, but he's too good a player not to play.
Absolutely, yeah, and we're delighted to see him back. It's been a long time since he's played, for a long time since he's had consistent run of games. I seem to remember that he scored that goal against Livingston, and then a couple of days later he signed his new deal. So he was definitely feeling himself at that point. Just looking at other places in the team, it's good to see Scales back and that starting. I know there's a few people that are a bit miffed that he's still in and around the team just now, but he's been an ever present this season, an ever present alongside Cameron Carter-Vickers when Carter-Vickers has been fit. But how excited are you to see Carter-Vickers? I know it's not the best maybe surface to see him playing, especially coming back from an injury, but Cameron Carter-Vickers gives you that sort of security, that he's that safety net at the back. He had to play today, didn't he?
He had to play. Of course, he had to play. I said it on Friday that you were sending the wrong message out if you didn't play Cameron Carter-Vickers. You were saying we're here to be got at if it was Welsh and Scales, and that's no disrespect to them. But you know what Livingston are like and the way they play. So with Cameron Carter-Vickers there, that just negates that. He's solid. He's professional. He's excellent. And he will make Scales a better player today. He has that, better. And just because I think they relax as well, and he's there. So, delight team. That's no nonsense team for me today, Ryan. So, make it no nonsense. Go out and do the job, and just do what's required.
And Nowski and Welsh are both bench. You'd maybe expect to see them, especially up by a couple of goals, maybe after 50, 60 minutes. If I'm Brendan Rodgers, I'd be wanting to take them off as soon as possible. Get the game won if you can early doors, and then bring them off because, very, very quickly all eyes will be on next week. Rangers done the business yesterday. They're now back on top of the league. It's up to Celtic to get back there today. The way that they can do that is by winning. Looking also in the team, it's good to see Iwata keep his place even though Hatate's back. I'm ready to Iwata and Hatate play together. I've seen them before a couple of times. It was I think the same team. They seem to have a good understanding of play. similar style. One of them is a lot more riskier and risk taking than the other, but they're both very calm, collected, and on the ball. Iwata will do all the non and Hatate will take those rounds. Looking forward to a player like Iwata, because he could put the team this afternoon, but Brendan Rodgers has shown faith in him. Put him in once again.
Yeah, I mean, he had to because his hand was forced a bit. With McGregor, it would have been interesting to see if Iwata had kept his place in the team had McGregor been fit, but he's gone with the same team. Iwata has not really done much wrong since he's had that extended run of games, has he? So he's a safe pair of hands or legs, if you want to say that. And I've no qualms about Iwata being able to play. So he'll do, as you say, the dirty job. Some in support of the front three, and I think that those five hold the key for me today, or six if you want to include the Iwata. That's where the game's won and lost today, and I believe that's Celtic will get joy from that today.
Yeah, they apologise for any audio issues that we've got in the background. Now, I think it's due to the connection that we've got. We've got full connection here, full Wi-Fi. We're on the Livingston Wi-Fi, but it seems to be going up and down. So we apologise if there's any sort of lag or any buffering on the stream or whatever. There's only so much that we can do. Once you press that live button, you're at the mercy of the connection we got. So we do apologise. I'm going to try and read out some comments while this sort of fixes itself. People, I might even read out the comments that have in that land rather than the land we've got. Yeah, audio is fine. The only problem is we told clearly. Yeah, I mean, so what else? We got Quinny's in. Quinny's always in. He's on Celtic here as well. That's if it would come up. It's not clicking for some reason. 2 seconds. Oh, sorry if we're going in and out. We're at the mercy of live TV or live streaming. It's a bit annoying, but leave nothing to the hoops says hey. The signal's not great. We know, guys. We're trying our hardest here. It says we've only got one bit of connection. We've got full connection on the other. Don't know if I should maybe try something different. Wait a wee minute. I'll try and connect to my iPhone. Wait a wee second. Give us a wee second, guys. Let's see if this works. Right, so where else do you want to talk about today? Do you want to talk about the right wing? Do you want to talk about Nicholas Kuhn? It's good to see him back in the team. Yang picked up a bit of a knock, so he got that when he was away on under-23 duty for South Korea. So good to see Kuhn retain his spot. 2 assists in the last 2 games and a goal. So he's been very, very involved and everything good about Celtic in an attacking sense. What are you expecting today from him? Are you expecting another good performance on, albeit a different surface from what he's used to?
Just want more of the same from Kuhn. He ain't broke, doesn't need fixed. He's been excellent the past couple of games, and he's got a real chance today. He knows if he performs today, he's putting himself right in that kind of manager's starting selection for Ibrox, isn't he? And especially with Yang missing out. Huge chance for Kuhn today, and I just want him to continue from where he left off, supplying Kyogo. I mean, he supplied Kyogo and Kyogo supplied him. So I really enjoyed that goal, Kuhn's goal, against St Johnstone in the 3-1 victory at Celtic Park the last time out. Lots to admire about it, and I like that development of an understanding. Coming to the boil, and another big chance today, and a ground where Celtic have struggled previously, but not recently. So here's hoping Kuhn enjoys the sunshine. I know the surface is never to be enjoyed, but just go and do what comes naturally to you.
It wouldn't be Easter Sunday without a resurrection. It seems as if the audio has resurrected as well. The stream seems to be doing a lot better. Thank you to everybody in the comments that's letting us know about the audio, because I know you are looking out for us. We're trying our best to bring the best possible coverage to you. Kyogo up front for Celtic. I don't think there's any issues with that, even though there's been an international break in between. He's got the yellow jersey, as you say. The yellow jersey is firmly with Kyogo at this moment in time. 2 goals in his last 2 games. He's taking his chance when Brendan Rodgers has given it. He was on the bench against Livingston the last time they played, but he came on and scored that 90 plus minute, goal to make sure that Celtic got through at the semi-final. and then he scored once again against St Johnstone. So he's very much a guy that's back on form. What are you looking for from today? I'm guessing that's a bit of a silly question because you're looking for goals from your main striker, your main man up front.
Yeah, he is the main man up front, isn't he? And his goals are going to be vital to Celtic in the title run. And Maeda got a hat-trick the last time out against Livingston. I want a Kyogo hat-trick today. I've just been greedy, but I think he's got his eye in again. And it's really pleasing for the Celtic supporters to see that. Because as I said, down the last 8-game stretch, this guy's going to be vital. And you know that if the supply's there, Ryan, he will score goals. And I just want him to continue to do what he's doing, playing on the shoulder of the last defender and doing what he does best, making those runs into the near post. And if the supply's there, he will score. And there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's his main aim, and the thing that he's so good at is scoring goals. Yes, he's good at the creativity as well. We've seen that with Kuhn or a couple of weekends ago. But he's so good at so many different parts of his games. But his main strength is putting that ball in the back of the net. He scored a couple of times here before already. He scored a couple of cracking goals. But now is the big time. This is the business end of the season. We need to see Kyogo scoring goals and getting up that goal scoring table as well. That's his. It might be difficult to catch Lawrence Shankland at this point because he's been so good this season. But let's see if we can get.
Listen, guys, we're not shouting at the mic. We're just talking into the mic as we do so. If that's clearly, it sounds pretty good. Then
it must be quite sensitive. The only thing that we've got is that we can hear the music in the background as well. So we're we're fighting against everything, and we're trying to get used to the new mics. Maybe in the future we'll maybe not talk as loud into the mics, but when you can hear all the music that's going on around us, as well as the connection issues that we've had, it's very, very difficult to keep everything on the right track. But we're trying our best. It's teething issues, as we said at the start of the podcast. That's what we'll put it down to anyway. But we're trying our best. I think there's people at the wind up as well. Daisy Maeda, I think we're just going to go through every player in this team. But Maeda, last time he was here, he scored an absolute screamer. He was put up front due to Joe Hart's sending off after about 20 minutes in the game. Joe Hart was actually talking about that a couple of days ago. He was saying that it was quite naughty that the cameras got that clip of Joe Hart celebrating. I think Joe Hart will be looking for a bit of a quieter afternoon, and Daisy Maeda will be hoping for more of the same, I presume.
Yeah, I think Joe Hart's had his say on it, hasn't he? And I think he was just unlucky that day, wasn't he? He made a decision, didn't get it right, and it was a sending off. I don't think anybody can argue with that, Ryan. But thankfully, it didn't affect Celtic because they went out and did the business, got a 3-0 win. Daisy Maeda putting the tin lid in it with a beautiful goal right at the end. And that was a very convincing performance from Celtic that day in this same arena. And I'm just looking for more of the same. And that team today fills me with confidence that they can do that. I don't see any reason why Celtic cannot emulate that scoreline, or maybe even more. I think one of the commenters already said 5-0, haven't they? So lots of confidence abounding amongst us supporters. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's maybe something that we can go on to. If everybody could get their score predictions in, maybe first goal scorer, if there is going to be a goal scorer on the day, fingers crossed that will be the case. But please get all your score predictions in, and we'll try and read out as many as we can. As you said earlier, there was a 5-0 in there. I'm not sure exactly who that was from, but we'll take that scoreline because that'd be good for the goal difference as well. But I think we're under no illusions. It's going to be a difficult game. Celtic will be playing against the pitch, also be playing against a team that they're at the bottom of the table, at the foot of the table. They need to start racking up some wins. They need to get some sort of momentum, even though it's a big ask from now until the end of the season. Des Harkin comes in and says 4-0 to Celtic. 4-0 says Joe Bookless to Celtic. 420 somewhere says 3-0 to Celtic. So plenty of clean sheets and plenty of goals today. But fingers crossed that would be the case. Good to get a bit of goal difference as well, as I was saying. What's your sort of score prediction today, Tony? What are you expecting? But first of all, what Celtic are you expecting to turn up today? Because I think that's definitely a factor as well.
I always say it, if you turn up, then it can be rip-roaring, free-scoring, never boring. I think I'm inclined to go with 3-0 as well. I just think Celtic got a bit between the teeth now. I see the SFA disciplinary sideshow with the manager's over. He sits in the stand for this game. It's dealt with. We move on. We move on to today. I'm looking for an emphatic performance from Celtic. If they can rack up a statement win, that would be great. I just don't want any no-nonsense team, Ryan, and I want a no-nonsense performance and a decent result, so we can, as you say, take the likes of Cameron Carter Vickers off, Hatate off, and protect them for what's coming. But you can only deal with what's in front of you today, and they have to be ruthless today, Ryan, and get themselves into a position where you're fine and the job's done, and it becomes about game management more than anything else. But first and foremost, win the football match.
A lot of people in the comments are quite excited about that midfield three. I've got to be honest, last season that's the midfield three that I wanted to see in some games. Because Cal McGregor's level can go up and down ever so slightly, now is the perfect time to see it. No doubt about it, Cal McGregor will be back in that team for next week in the Glasgow Derby against Rangers. But at this point, I don't think you could name a better midfield three. Maybe Bernardo, although I think he flatters to deceive in a lot of games, to be honest with you. Some good games, some not so good games, some games where he's, don't want to say anonymous, but more quiet. I'm happy that Iwata's in the team. Delighted that Hatate is back in the team too. And Matt O'Reilly's that furthest forward midfielder. Somebody in the comments was actually talking about when was the last time that Celtic had 4 Japanese players playing at the one time. You've got Hatate, Iwata, Maeda and Kyogo. It's great to see an international team with so many players from different continents playing for Celtic. So it can only be good for the club as a whole, can't it?
Says a lot for all the players that they're forced their way into the manager's starting lineup. That's as strong as it could be today. And the exception of Callum McGregor, then you get the toss up between him and Iwata. I think the manager would go with McGregor in that situation, but he's not available. But that's a hard and fast and strong team for me, Ryan. And I think you'll see that when Celtic come out the traps. Hopefully see that. But I think Celtic mean business today with that team.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's loads of predictions coming in. We appreciate absolutely everybody that's joining us for the show. We know you've got plenty of choices for who you're going to stick with for pre and post match content, but we really do appreciate you joining us today. Thomas Hunter comes in, says 4-1 to Celtic. Not a clean sheet, but still a resounding result. Hopefully that would be 4-0 Celtic and maybe a late goal for Livingston. Make it as stress free as possible. Andrew Hunter says 3-1 to the Hoops to Celtic. Scott Dougal says 4-0 Kyogo with 2 goals. Siobhan Brewer says a boarding 2-0 with no injuries will do me. Fair enough. Paul Hogan comes in and says 6-0 for Maeda. Is that Maeda with all 6 goals?
Siobhan was also asking if we'll be in the post match press conference. We will, Siobhan.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will be there. We'll be Brian will be videoing Brendan and we'll be taping exactly what's going on. So I don't know if there's a reason why you asked that question. You want us to ask us? Well, I want us to ask Brendan something. Then fire away. We'll endeavour to ask it on your behalf.
Yep. Thomas Gallagher comes in and says 4-1 Kyogo double and Matt O'Reilly and Adam Ida. Guessing that's a goal off the bench for Adam Ida. 4-1 says Natalie McMullen. 5-0 Joe Boyle says for him. 5-1 to Celtic. Kyogo 3, Maeda 2. Frank Bell says 3-0 to the Hoops. Kyogo to kick on. I think we would all absolutely love that. Tony's background says 67 now. I don't know why he's got a crocodile or an alligator on your background. I don't know if you've got some scales in the back of your gaff, but Japan 4, Livingston now. Well, it's a Japan select, isn't it? With the 4 Japanese players, absolutely brilliant to see. Yeah. Nothing but positives of that, and I think that's Ange's legacy is having these Japanese players in and around the team still, and it's great to see that Brendan Rodgers is still trusting those players that were brought in by Ange Postecoglou, but they're still getting trusted all the same. It's a mix of Europeans and Asians in the team, but it's great to see that they'll all be speaking the one universal language, and that's football, and hopefully Brendan Rodgers' style will come through. There's somebody else actually I want to touch upon today, because I think he's been on good form recently, especially before the international break. I know there's been a couple of weeks, and he did well for Canada during the international break. I think Alistair Johnson's been one of Celtic's best players over the past 4 or 5 games, and the stats back that up. I think it was Stuart Ross that did an article on Alistair Johnson. Said the past 4 or 5 games he's been one of the standouts in Brendan Rodgers' teams. What are you expecting from Johnson today? Expecting another solid shift from him? He likes that feisty sort of style, that all-action defender. But we can see that he can attack as well, and he was so unlucky with that goal that he didn't score last time out against St Johnstone. You hoping he can go one better, maybe score one today?
If you're an avid reader of the Celtic way, you'll know there's been a few articles recently about Alistair Johnson's statistical analysis that did say that he's been Celtic's best player. statistically and with the data analysis, and you can see that for yourself with the eye test. Excuse me, I wrote an article myself about Steve Guthrie singing his praises. She coached him when he was with Nashville, and he was comparing him to Trent Alexander-Arnold, wasn't he, in terms of his delivery and the way, and he got him to focus on certain things, i.e. his attacking weaponry and armoury, to have that in his locker, always his crossing ability. And he set up a couple of goals recently, Alistair Johnson, I'm thinking either at Park Park, and I'm thinking either against Dundee, with pinpoint accurate crosses. Yep. I mean, it's no surprise that when the delivery's on the money, Ryan, Celtic profit, they'll score.
Yep. And
that's either Adam Ida or Kyogo. Whoever's playing, it just happened to be Adam Ida was playing and profited from those. But I remember saying at the time that conversely, Kyogo would have scored because of the way Celtic were playing and the way that those deliveries come in, it would have suited them. So Kyogo's now back in the team. So you're hoping that Johnson can provide for Kyogo as well. And it's just good to see that side, that right-hand side of your team functioning, with both Johnson and Kuhn coming right onto a game.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Johnson today, because he's one of the players that I thought that was going to be I thought that Johnson was going to really kick on under Brendan Rodgers. That wasn't necessarily the case in the first half of the season, I would say. But I'd say since the international break, especially, maybe out with the Hearts game, but nobody was really good in that. There was different circumstances due to it being down to 10 men. I think he's really kicked on. I think he's feeding off the fact that Canada are doing well as well. He's in form. He's playing for two in-form sides. Both, Celtic are winning most of their games, and Canada are they're getting to loads of international tournaments. There was actually a piece on the Celtic Way last night that was talking about the fact that Canada will be at 3 international tournaments this decade. When you think about the 2022 World Cup, the Copa America this year, and then the 2026 World Cup, which has been co-hosted by America. I think it's the USA, Mexico, and Canada. So he'll be involved. He'll be at the highest level in the prime of his career. And I think that can only mean good things for Celtic. Not to say that he'll be at Celtic in 2026. He could maybe have moved on by that point, but it's a great experience for him, isn't it, to be playing that level of football? And it's been an incredible year for him, from making his sort of international major tournament debut at the World Cup in Qatar, to that poker face when he was asked about Celtic, to then joining Celtic, to then playing Croatia when Juranovic and Johnson were both playing in the same team. There was loads of vented interest, of shared interest, to now playing for Celtic for over a year now. It's been an incredible 12 months for him, hasn't it?
Steve Guppy said that to me, that the biggest spin-off was the fact that Canada were doing so well, that Canada have created a golden generation of players. You just mentioned that with the 3 tournaments on the spin that they're going to compete in, and Celtic have benefited from that with bringing in a player like Alistair Johnson. I mean, he achieved the treble within months of joining Celtic, and then his form this season did hit a dip, but it's good to see that he's back to bringing his A game to the table. And Celtic have a weapon when he goes down the wing. Some commenters are saying that Ralston's delivery is better. Yeah, it can be.
Well, at least it suits a plastic pitch as well. At Ralston, I think he's that sort of player. Not to say he's a 5-a-sides player or an 11-a-side or a 7-a-side player or whatever, but he does have that dig as well, and it's good that Celtic have that backup option.
I would have no qualms if Ralston played today, to be honest. But again, we go back to the whole yellow jersey. Johnston's, arguably playing the best stuff that he's played this season
in his Celtic career, to be honest, at this point in time.
So why would you take it off him? And we know we've got a good backup there in Ralston, if needed and if called upon to do a service. But I'm happy to see Johnson there, and I think there's him and Kuhn, that side of the pitch I'm really, really comfortable with. And I think Celtic can get joy from both of them, supplying the likes of O'Reilly running in, Hatate running in, and obviously Kyogo as well.
Yeah. Is there anybody else you want to talk about before we head off? I realise that we'll be going for 29 minutes. We do apologise for the audio issues that we had right in the middle. It seems as if it was fine at the start, it messed up in the middle, and then it's good at the end. That good if you can get at the start and the end, then you're doing something right. But is there anything else you want to talk about with regard to that team? Maybe Joe Hart and the fact you'd be looking for a quieter afternoon than the last time it was at the Tony Macaroni.
We don't need Joe Hart doing anything risky or stupid. I just want a comfortable afternoon all round for the defence, Joe Hart included. Here's hoping that the past couple of times I've been here, they've kind of the Joe Hart sending off apart. Celtic have coped with it really, really well. So as I say, that team for me copes well again today. So let's go out and perform and do the business. And if the players turn up, then there's only going to be one winner, right?
Absolutely. People are asking if we can make the pitch screen smaller, so we'll do that. We'll sort of talk about. We'll thank everybody for joining us on today's stream. We really do appreciate it. We'll try and go live as soon as we can after the game. Obviously, we'll be at the press conferences. We'll need to put all our pieces on the website, but we'll try and be on as soon as possible. Maybe about an hour or so after the game. Gives you time to watch some other channels and then come on to us later on. We thank everybody for joining us. As we said previously, we've got our offer on the Celtic Way just now, Tony. It's our best ever offer. 6 months of access for just £1, plus a free Kyogo Furuhashi print from renowned football artist made by Frankie. She's worked with the Scotland national team. She's also worked with Manchester United, so you know that's guaranteed quality. It's a great print, and we're looking to send them out as soon as possible. We're waiting to get the go-ahead of when they'll be sent out, but we will notify you once that is on the way. Tony, is there anything that you want to talk about with regard to that offer? It's our best ever offer.
Just want to say thank you to everybody who's subscribed. Say we're just a few short of a magical number for us, and we've said this, we often say we can't do it without you. So for those who've taken up the offer, the best ever offer, we say thank you. For our existing subscribers, we say thank you to them as well. We appreciate the fact that you keep coming back. You know, there's nearly 500 people watching this pre-match podcast, so can't say fairer than that, Ryan. It's reflected in those numbers, and we genuinely appreciate you coming on. And as I always say, your weekend's result dependent. It's result dependent. It's just, if the Celtic winning, losing, or drawing affects your mood. So just hoping it's the former.
Listen, it's Easter weekend. It's time to celebrate, and hopefully Celtic will be celebrating with another 3 points and puts them back on the top of the table. Thank you to everyone that's been watching. We'll try and be on as soon as possible after full time. But until then, enjoy the game. Fingers crossed Celtic get the 3 points, and we will speak to you after the game.